Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling something really fundamental, I think. How to live a long, happy, and, well, successful life.
Mm-hmm. And we've gone through some fascinating source material to pull out the key insights for you.
That's right. Specifically, we focused on a great conversation. It was between a podcast host, Rachel Evans, and Dr. Kiran Malhotra.
Yes, Dr. Malhotra, he's a life coach, speaker, and wrote The Fulfillment Formula.
Right. And our goal here, our mission for this deep dive, is really to boil down their discussion into actionable takeaways.
Exactly. We want to give you a clear sense of what actually contributes to longevity, happiness, and, real success.
Without getting totally overwhelmed by all the details.
Precisely. Quick, thorough, useful.
Okay, so let's dive right in. The big question first. What does a successful life even mean? Rachel asked Dr. Malhotra this right off the bat.
Yeah, and his answer was really interesting. He pushed back against the usual external markers,
Like money and status.
Exactly. He suggested that genuine success is much more about, aligning with your own personal values.
So feeling good on the inside. Healthy, fulfilled.
Yes, and at peace. It's about purpose, satisfaction, not just climbing some societal ladder. He framed it as deeply personal.
That really struck me. The idea that it's not some external definition we all have to meet.
Not at all. He gave that powerful example, didn't he? Someone could have, say, $1 billion.
And still feel completely empty.
Right.
While someone else, maybe with a much more modest life financially, could feel incredibly joyful.
Because their life has meaning to them.
That's the core of it. It's holistic. It considers your well-being, your purpose. It really prompts you, the listener, to ask, what does success look like through my eyes?
Okay, so if success is internal, what about living a long and happy life? Rachel moved the conversation towards those essential ingredients. What did Dr. Malhotra see as the common threads?
Well, building on that idea of well-being, he pointed out some really consistent patterns he's noticed in people who manage both longevity and joy. Patterns, like what?
First off, and this seems crucial, relationships.
Yes. Connections.
Deep connections with family, friends, community. He stressed how fundamental these are for happiness and even for resilience,
That makes so much sense. We feel that intuitively, I think. What else?
Second, she talked about purpose.
Purpose. Even after retirement, for instance.
Especially then, sometimes. Staying engaged, maybe creative, feeling like you're contributing something beyond just yourself. It keeps people vital.
Right. A reason to get up in the morning, essentially.
Yeah.
What about the less tangible stuff?
Good point. He really zeroed in on stress management.
Oh, definitely a big one in modern life.
Huge. Chronic stress just wears us down physically and emotionally. So cultivating daily practices becomes important.
Like meditation.
Or journaling.
Exactly. Or even just, taking a walk. Simple things done consistently. And that leads to the last bit, the lifestyle basics.
The obvious ones we sometimes neglect. Pretty much. Consistent attention to sleep, mindful eating, not necessarily dieting, but being aware, physical activity, and, interestingly, time in nature.
They sound simple, but doing them consistently. That's the challenge, maybe.
That's what he emphasized. Consistency is key.
Okay, so we had these building blocks: relationships, purpose, stress management, basic lifestyle habits. But, many of us are also driven. We want to achieve things. How do we chase goals without just burning out? Rachel asked about this too.
Yes, and this is where he introduced a really neat concept, goalful living.
Goalful living. Okay, what does that entail?
It's a subtle shift. Instead of being laser-focused only on the outcome, the achievement.
Like, I have to get this promotion or I'm a failure.
Sort of, yeah. Goalful living puts more emphasis on the journey, on the personal growth, the learning that happens along the way.
So value the process, not just the prize.
Precisely. He warned about tying your entire self-worth to hitting a specific target. That sets you up for a potentially draining cycle.
Yeah, constant chasing.
Right. Think of it less like desperately climbing a ladder just to reach the top.
Yeah.
And more like appreciating the climb itself, the view from each step, the strength you gain.
I like that. Finding satisfaction during the work.
Exactly. And
Oh.
critically, linked to this is how he talked about rest.
Ah, yes. Not as a reward for exhaustion.
No, that was his point. He framed rest as a necessary discipline, something you build in proactively.
Now, something you earn only when you're completely spent.
Right. It's part of a sustainable way of living, allowing you to show up consistently, not just in bursts followed by collapse.
That's a huge mindset shift for many people, I bet.
Yeah.
So if we're aiming for this kind of fulfilling life, what typically gets in the way? What did Dr. Malhotra see as the biggest obstacles?
He identified two main culprits, really. The first is fear.
Fear. Of what specifically?
Various kinds. Fear of judgment from others, fear of failure, even fear of change itself.
Those are common.
Very. And the second big obstacle he mentioned was limiting beliefs.
Okay, those beliefs we hold about ourselves or the world that maybe aren't actually true.
Exactly. Beliefs like, I'm not good enough, or I don't deserve success, or it's too late for me to change. He suggests these internal constraints often hold us back more than any external factor.
Wow. And where do those usually come from? Did he touch on that?
He did. Often they stem from childhood experiences, things we were told, or ways we interpreted events.
Makes sense. Or maybe cultural messages.
Yes, cultural narratives play a big role, and also past failures that we've maybe overgeneralized from.
But the good news is,
The empowering message is that these aren't set in stone.
Yep.
Beliefs can be rewritten
oh,
through things like coaching, therapy, even dedicated journaling and self-reflection. You can bring them into the light and consciously work to change them.
that's hopeful. Okay, so bringing this right down to the practical everyday level, Rachel asked for some key daily habits. What were Dr. Malhotra's top picks for a longer, happier life?
He gave 5 clear recommendations. Number 1, morning stillness.
Stillness, like just sitting quietly.
Yeah, or maybe doing a short gratitude practice or meditating, just 10 minutes even, to kind of set the tone for the day.
Okay, I can see that. Number 2,
Move daily. Some form of physical activity. Doesn't have to be intense. A walk counts. Just incorporate movement.
got it. Move the body. 3,
Connect consciously. Make an actual effort to have a meaningful interaction.
like calling a friend instead of just texting.
Exactly. Or
Yeah.
proper hug with family, or even just offering a genuine smile or kindness to a stranger. Conscious connection.
Simple, but easy to let slide. Okay, 4.
Reflect before bed, but keep it simple. A 1-sentence journal entry.
How about what?
Focusing on an accomplishment. Asking yourself, what did I do well today? It shifts focus to the positive, to progress.
Nice. Counteracts that tendency to dwell on what went wrong. And the last one, number 5.
Prioritize sleep. Really see it as fundamental.
Not a luxury, like you said before.
Absolutely not. A basic need for physical and mental health. And his overall point was that these small daily shifts, done consistently, they add up. They lead to big changes over time.
This has been, wow, really insightful. Inspiring, but also quite grounding, actually. What was Dr. Malhotra's final message, his sort of concluding thought?
It was a lovely analogy, actually. He said, your life is not a race, it's a garden.
A garden, not a race. I like that.
Yeah, it shifts the focus, doesn't it? Away from competition and comparison towards nurturing what matters to you.
Tending to your own patch.
Exactly. Consistently watering those seeds. And remembering that fulfillment isn't some future destination you finally arrive at.
But something you create right now.
Precisely. It's cultivated in the present moment through how you live each day.
That's a really powerful way to end. Very grounding, as I said.
It is, and it leaves you, the listener, with something to think about, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like what?
Well, building on that garden idea, what small seeds can you plant today? Things that align with your personal definition of a long, happy, successful life.
Good question.
And maybe more importantly, how will you commit to watering them consistently, even with all the demands of daily life pulling at you?